On this episode of the DigiTavern podcast, we discuss our day at the Critgamer land. We talk about our time that was spent over there, our experience, our overall feelings of the East Texas LAN party. We jump into World of Warcraft lore, and we talk about the games that we have been playing. But first, we do a very brief catch up with each other. Bard, if you'd be so kind as to roll that record, spin that record.
Spin it, roll it, I got you.
Barkeep, pour me a drink. Hey, Bard, spin that shit.
So, Dwani, how have you been, man? It's been a
Good.
week since we did some recording, but it's fine. You know, I think you needed a little bit of time, which is fine.
Yeah, I had to take care of some things family-wise, so it was kind of important for me to take that week off and just kind of like refocus my attention on certain things. But we're back here. We're doing our thing. We're catching back up. We've got a couple things that we're working on here, and we're getting ready to kind of jump forward with our podcast. So I'm pretty excited. How have you been, Fredo?
I've been good. You know, I've been noticing some stuff like I listen to other podcasts, and
But not ours.
but but yeah, like I was catching up on some TV. Really, it's all I did. I watched some shows that I hadn't watched before. I think I watched Chernobyl, which was pretty cool.
See, I don't watch TV that much, so that's just, I don't know. I just can't watch TV like that anymore.
I know, but like I don't watch TV like I used to. I watch shows that I've been told I should watch. That's
See,
kind of
I'm the
I
complete
do now.
opposite. If someone tells me to watch a show, if someone's like, "Oh man, this show's so good, you should watch it," I'm like, "No."
I'm the complete opposite. Like if it's unless it's something like I'm very interested in, I probably won't watch it. But like if someone says, "Hey, watch this," I'll be like, "Yeah, I'll give it a shot." But if I don't like it, I'm not gonna follow through and watch all of it.
Nah,
You know,
dude. Like,
it's-
for some reason, I just cannot watch shows that people tell me that they love or that everyone's about. Like, what's that one with the drugs? Breaking Bad.
that show is amazing. I don't
Every-
know what the hell are you talking about?
Oh, I'm not saying it's not amazing. I'm just saying that
No.
I didn't want to watch it because everyone was telling me to watch it.
You should watch it now.
I'm not gonna watch it.
That show is really good. But no, I watched Mr. Robot.
It's a good show.
I've been putting that off for like a really long time, but I finally watched it, and I watched Chernobyl, dude. That show was really good.
I don't
like
even know
how
what that is.
They talk about well, it's a show about what happened at Chernobyl, basically, and all that, and they just do a really good job of like really setting up the stage and like that's the kind of shows I like. It kind of goes with what I enjoy doing in video games. If it's believable, if I could feel that I'm there, I really enjoy the show.
Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, at least they do that right. That's a good thing. But since we've had that week to kind of like compress and kind of watch TV or just do what I had to do, we had a good time and a good week to kind of think about how we experienced Critgamer. This was our first time going as a group because you have been there before, but this time we went together. And for those people who don't know what Critgamer is about, so pulling up from Critgamer's website, this is what they're about. Critgamer was originally started in 2009 as a YouTube channel with an online blog for content creation and sharing. During the preliminary phases of the brand, we realized there was a demand for consistent LAN gaming community in our local area. In 2014, we started marketing as a LAN gaming community. Our primary focus is on creating a competitive, exciting gaming environment for the East Texas community. We have since built an organization that will continue to build on the traditions of a LAN BYOC and community gaming. These events are hosted quarterly at local venues with the help from our generous sponsors. Our goal is to expand this brand and the culture of LAN gaming across Texas and beyond. Critgamer. So that's kind of like what their mission statement is about, and it's pretty cool, and I think they're doing a pretty good job of it out there.
Yeah, I think they are. It's interesting to see how it's changed from when I first went. I think I touched briefly with one of like the organizers there when I was there, and I talked about. I was like, yeah, I remember I was here when it was in a church, and it was like, oh man, that was such a long time ago. Like even to him, he was like, it was like a throwback.
I saw that.
Apparently they have. Apparently they have. You know, it says right here they have them quarterly. So he said they've had about 17 or something around that. 17 of these, which is quite a bit, you know.
That's kind of like a big deal because obviously I knew nothing about Critgamer, and I wanted to kind of at least understand who they were, what they were trying to accomplish, because it's kind of different because for the people who don't live in Texas, like East Texas is pretty different. It's not quite big city. There's no real big city out in East Texas. So it's very just like pockets of communities, and they're all kind of closely knit together. But Critgamer is showing that those pockets of communities that are originally like small town living, they have a community for gaming, and they know it, and they're just bringing all that together, and they're trying to build, or not trying, but they're building a community, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see what they're doing there. I mean, I know we had, honestly, we had a better plan for going there, but I had something I had to do that evening of the game, so I kind of had to cut it short, but it was okay. We still got to go. We still got to experience some of it, at least get your like idea of what the Critgamer is.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think we could have done it a little better if we would have stayed there the whole day, because we were only there about half a day, and I think it got to the point where like, all right, let's take a break, but it was the point where we had to go home.
Yeah,
which was
and see, that was the kind of the crazy thing about that. But before we get into that though, when we got to Critgamer, when we got in, you know, we set up everything. What did you think when you first got there?
Like of the venue itself?
Yeah, what did you think of the environment? Like, what did you
I mean, I like that the people that we got there were like welcoming us, and they were like kind of holding the door, helping us out to get in there and set up. They were very friendly, very personal, kind of, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the things that I'm like, yeah, this is what I remember from the Critgamer. Like, the guys all there like want to talk to you when you first come in, and it's really, if you don't talk to them, like I don't think we talked to them as much this year, but they're very there to engage. They're like there to engage with you if you want to, but they'll leave you alone if you just want to go there and game.
Yeah, and it's a very small
like
venue to have this kind of event, because maybe it's because that's what they can only work with, or maybe because they don't really have a lot of people coming in, but it was a very small event and it was very intimate. So like, it's kind of like what you said, like if you wanted to talk, you could totally talk to somebody. But I think for us, we went into this knowing that we were only going to have about maybe 8 hours, maybe 8 to 8 hours to actually game. So I think we kind of focused a lot on just trying to play some games instead of doing anything else, really.
Yeah, and that's like I said earlier, it's usually that's when we would have probably taken a break and walked around, chatted with people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had to leave.
Yeah, we were strapped for time.
Yeah, and I kind of felt rushed, like the whole time I was there, personally, me, because I had to be somewhere. I didn't have a time to kind of just sit and relax, but that's really not on them. Like, I want to emphasize it. It wasn't on them.
Nah,
it was mostly on us. That we had that limited time. But I did enjoy it. Like when I came in there, like I liked the venue.
Yeah, it It did get pretty hot though at one point.
Yeah, I don't know. That was you, bro. Like I couldn't. I don't know what you were talking about.
I had to get up. I had to leave because
You had to go out into the hot East Texas sun, which I was like, it's hotter outside, but
I'd rather be in that heat than like this stale heat. Like
maybe
started
they just needed some
burning up.
ventilation in there or something.
Maybe, I don't know, but I was dying at one point.
But I don't know. Maybe it was the Red Bull you drank.
Probably. I did.
Oh, that
drink
was
a
another
lot.
cool thing, man. They had free drinks for everyone.
That is another thing. Like they're very what's the word? Compensating?
Humble? I was gonna say humble.
No.
Generous.
Sure, generous is a good word.
Yeah, I mean we had cake at one.
Yeah, but it was for somebody's birthday.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about Critgamer this year is that we actually went there with two of our friends, or, well, one that I just met. But I know of him, which is Matt and David. And David went with us to QuakeCon. And so it was kind of like 4 people again, kind of going to a LAN party. And again, this is the second time we've done this year. So it's pretty cool to like be able to do these things and to kind of like bring ourselves to this stuff and experience new fun things. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. And actually, when I was talking to David on the way back home to Dallas, David was like, he really enjoyed it. He was saying that he would love to go back, and if they had another one in the winter time, that maybe we should go to that one as well.
Yeah, and I think if it's quarterly, I'm sure they will have one.
Right.
In the winter. I don't know if this one was the summer one, because I know the Critgamer guys, I do go to QuakeCon.
Yeah, they were talking about it when we got there. I don't think some of them were able to make it this year, but they were like, yeah, we went last year.
Yeah, it'd be great to meet them up there. Yeah, and you know what I like too, though, like about going to these events and stuff? We just set that time apart for ourselves to get together and game. And so even when we were there, we were already talking about what's the next one. Like, what are we doing next?
Yeah.
Because I know me and Matthew were talking about, on the way back, he was saying, you know what, I'm going to have that LAN party at my house. I was like, heck yeah. I've been looking forward to having a LAN at Matt's house because he bought a new home like a couple years back. And ever since then, we've been, playing around with doing a really nice LAN party at his house. And he said he's finally going to do it. And I know when me, you, and David were driving up there, he was talking about like having another one, which is awesome.
And this is kind of like we're adults now. We can do this, and our mothers can't tell us anything. So,
Yeah.
so it's fun to do these kind of things. And this LAN was kind of like, I don't know. I feel like what we've been doing this year, as far as the DigiTavern is concerned, I feel like we're doing like good work to like put ourselves out there now. Like we're kind of doing things as a group and building us. Maybe we're not like building our brand out into the world, but we're building us. We're doing the things that we do. And the crazy thing is like we do it anyways. Like today is, though we're recording today on Saturday, today is our D&D night. So we're picking that back up, and that's when the other part of the DigiTavern kind of gets together and does that. So it's like we do a lot of things together, and like we have a sense of community. And I got a special guest for you tonight, though.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. And I can't tell you, but...
Is it your mom? Yeah.
Stupid. Hey, man, my brother listens to this. No.
Sorry, Joy's brother. Please don't beat me up.
You never know. But yeah, it's kind of funny because like we're growing some stuff here, and it's pretty cool. And I look forward to like doing it again. And maybe if it's at Matt's or if it's another Critgamer, or hell, if we have to wait all the way till QuakeCon, who knows? Or fuck, maybe even DreamHack. Like we never know. Like there's so many things and so many possibilities, and that's probably the coolest thing.
Yeah, I do enjoy that.
Now, as far as the event, Critgamer, we did some gaming, we played some stuff, we were rushed for time, and it made things a little uncomfortable, but that was our fault. Nothing against Critgamer. So, honestly, I'm going to take a second here. Let's take a second really quickly. And just to show some appreciation to Critgamer, if you guys are interested in looking up Critgamer at all, if you're based in East Texas or if you're just really close and you don't mind driving an hour and a half, 2 hours, Critgamer is one of those places that you should kind of look up. Follow their Twitter. It's at Critgamer. And they're pretty cool about putting things up, and they have really cool sponsors. I think it was Gam Diaz this year that kind of gave out a keyboard, a mouse, I believe a headset, and then they gave some other prizes out as well. And so those are cool. Those are cool things that they're doing out there. And the fact that they have the sponsorship and the support from the community, it's even better, because this year it was held in a fire department's storage house. I don't even know what that was.
It's probably like their community center, like a small community center for the fire departments. Maybe like where they would host like events or something.
Well, see, and that to me was like kind of cool, because it was kind of like the city or the town of like Terrell or Tyler saying, hey, you nerds are all right, but you get this strangely ventilated space that will give me a headache. And it gave me a headache.
I have a feeling if they do it there again in the winter,
it'd be much better.
You won't have this issue. It was just extremely hot that day.
Yeah.
It was a very hot day.
Yeah, it was pretty
Plus
hot.
all the PCs that are in there running, I don't think the AC was ready for it. But
they broke one of the not servers, but they had an electrical spike at one point.
Oof.
And like the whole front row where the hosts were sitting, it all turned off.
Now, one of the things that impressed me too is the way they set up their network.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just plug in and start going. You have to
learn that the hard way.
Yeah. You have to kind of, you really have to read the rules that they had on there. Like, don't do this, don't do that. And once you agree, then you get, the network. And it just goes to show like the knowledge that those guys have. Because I remember last time it was similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys was discussing and saying that like that's his job. Like, he does that for a living. He goes up and sets up networks and stuff. So that was pretty cool.
Well, all in all, I think we can agree that Critgamer out in East Texas or East Texas land, they're doing a great job. They're doing great work out there and building their community and allowing people like us to kind of hang out with them, even if it is for a couple of hours. So, Critgamer, thank you. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely want to go back.
For sure. So, as we kind of continue on with our podcast of the week, we are working towards Lore Books, the podcast that is going to be about lore and all the cool things. And you are currently reading Volume 3 of World of Warcraft Chronicles. So, and you had some things that you had in mind that you wanted to talk about. And
it's mostly questions.
Sure.
Than answers.
Well, that's what we're here for, and here at DigiTavern, we're all about discussion, especially about lore. But so let's get into it. One of the questions you had was about the world trees, and we have done this before in the past. It was really kind of weird how we kind of talked about it, because you kind of put me on the spot there, and I felt like I was like, oh God, is this what the devs feel like? This is terrible. Like
just asking questions.
Yeah, just like asking questions. Yeah, what is this?
Said.
What is this? And it's just like, well, I don't know. Leave me alone. But a couple things that we start off with is the world tree, and in particular, Nordrassil.
And from my understanding, Nordrassil is the Night Elves, kind of like their first tree, right? It's what gives them their immortality.
Yeah.
It's kind of what gives them their connection to the Emerald Dream. Like, it's like their mom, basically.
Sure, if that's how you want to put it.
I don't know how else to put it. Like, it's their connection to everything that is what they are.
Well, the thing is like these world trees are kind of like an extension, and we talked about this last time. Like, there's a lot of extensions of the Titans in this world, And the reason for that is because the Titans really don't want to lose Azeroth to any kind of corruption. And when the Titans kind of gave certain beings abilities and powers, one of those beings that they gave to was the dragon aspects. And it was kind of like, hey guys, you have kind of our power, and we're kind of leaving you to kind of watch over this world and planet. So take care of it. Don't screw the pooch. Be safe. But we're never going to see you again. Peace out.
You know what that reminds me of? Kind of the like the wizards in Lord of the Rings. How they kind of they're not like human, but they're like kind of angels, kind of like there just to keep the peace, kind of.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the dragon aspects remind me of.
And that's a fair comparison, because I mean, even like Gandalf was returned because his job wasn't done, and he was on borrowed time when he was Gandalf the White. So like that's kind of true. However, the dragon aspects really helped the Night Elves kind of set their empire throughout all of Kalimdor, and ancient Kalimdor, I should say. And ancient Kalimdor, as I'm sure you have read at this point, is like Pangea, one giant, massive, swelling continent that everybody lived on until the Sundering, which is the explosion of the continent as it just breaks and broke away into different parts of the world.
That's how you get that little spiral in the center of the map?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
The vertex,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's called the Sundering, and that was a massive cataclysmic event that almost destroyed the world, but in truth it was just repelling back the bad guys and sealing the portal.
So let's take it back to Nodrasil, right?
Do it.
At one point, it was subject to disease and aging. Was that by, like, who did that? Was that one guy named Xavius or something like that?
Okay, so Xavius is this like satyr, and in World of Warcraft lore, the satyrs and the Naga, which are the fish-like people, and not the Murlocs, but the fish-like people that kind of carry the tridents around.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like Nightborn, and so like the Nightborn in Legion. So those that weren't like killed off or didn't die, they were turned into these creatures. It was almost as a punishment. So, and Xavius is like one of the biggest ones of them all, and he's like,
he's a big jerk.
Yeah. Yeah.
But was he the one who kind of plunged Nodrasil into the, because at one point doesn't that tree get destroyed, or it's like it's being destroyed or something?
Well, the thing is, like, Xavius is one of these characters that's like one of the biggest bad guys for the Night Elves, because he's kind of he really wants to kind of see the world burn and turn and twist itself. So like he's always like trying to put a wrench in the plan of the Night Elves, because that's just what he does. Even like when you first play Classic, or when you first make a character in World of Warcraft, as a Night Elf, when you're leaving the starting zone, there's a satyr actually there, and he's like, hey, come do some missions for me real fast, and you'll do them, and then he's like, sucker, I got you to do a mission for me, now I'm gonna corrupt this area, you guys.
He's like, got him.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is like, that's how you learn, like, satyrs are kind of like, they're like tricksters, but the Xavius is the biggest one of them all, and he has had it out for like the Night Elves forever. And so Xavius is actually the one who kind of like tricks some of our big important characters in the Night Elf community, and one of those people is Fandral. But
Fandral Stagehelm, for those of you who do not know.
Yeah, and it's Staghelm.
Staghelm?
Staghelm.
I said stage.
Stagehelm.
That's what I said.
Stagehelm, coming from the left side.
Archdruid Fandral Stage Helm.
Staghelm.
Staghelm.
Not
Makes more
stage
sense.
helm. Stage jazz hands and everything that it implies. But no, like Nordersil was like one of the biggest trees, was one of the world trees that kind of connected the Night Elf people to their immortality. But in Warcraft 3, during the Third War, Archimonde begins to attack the tree because this is like their move to like destroy Azeroth and to completely annihilate it, because that's what Sargeras wants. He wants to kind of destroy this planet. That's what he's always doing. But Malfurion, along with the team of like Thrall, Jaina, the Alliance, and Horde, he makes a plan to sacrifice the Night Elf's immortality to banish Archimonde, which he's able to do, and poof, done. He's gone.
That's a big sacrifice.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's kind of like a big deal because, like you said in like Lord of the Rings, for an elf to give their immortality to someone, it's a big thing. It's a big task. Like when she, I forget her name, but when she gives her star or her immortality to Aragon, it's a big deal. They're like, why are you doing this? Like, you don't have to do this for him. He's a human.
Talk about Arwen?
Yeah, Arwen. It's like, why are you giving him your immortality? Like that's so dumb. But she's like, it's mine to give. So it's kind of a big deal for elves to give up their immortality. And for Malfurion to make the decision for everyone was even bigger. But it banished Archimonde, and it saved the world.
So I think at this point, Vandrel's like, I want that back, right? Because he is himself an elf, right? A night elf?
Yeah.
So he is like, how about we just plan a new one?
Yeah, see, and as you play WoW, I've grown to not like Fandral because he's kind of an idiot. Because he's more offensive minded than anything else. Like, he wants to kind of create he wants to re-expand the Night Elf influence. He wants to make a mighty military. He wants to do all these things where it's like Tyrande and Malfurion, they're not like that. They're like, they're not passive, but they kind of are. And that was one of the biggest things about like going into Battle for Azeroth, because in Battle for Azeroth, there's this really cool trailer where Tyrande and Malfurion are going out there and they're just like shutting it down. Like, they're killing undead or Forsaken. They're knocking out hordes. Like, they're just like they're taking names, kicking ass. And it's the coolest thing. It's the coolest video in the world. And the reason why it is because you've never seen them do this. Like, Tyrande isn't a badass. She's not. But she is. She's a great leader. She's level-headed. She's smart. She's cunning. She's caring. But she's not like a military leader. But in this video,
She gets down.
She gets down. And there's even a scene where like Malfurion turns to bear form and he just starts like tearing people apart. It's awesome. And the thing is, like, none of that happens until you push them. And one of the biggest criticisms that Night Elves get is that they're too passive, that they just let things happen. And that's why like Fandrel's like, we need to make a bigger military. We need to have more people and like, spread our influence. And they're like, hey, dude, calm down. And that's what
I mean, in hindsight, do you think he was wrong to do that?
I think he was wrong to do it because he did it his way. And the thing is, like, when he started planting new trees, he did it on his own without the permission of the Cenarian Circle or the Dragon aspects. And that proved to be a really bad decision. Because
I think he he did Androsil or something. Was one of the first ones he tried to
Right.
create.
And this is back in a long time ago, like when he started planting off like different trees. So basically, he took like branches or roots from Nordrasil and started mixing them with this mineral called serenite, and he started planting them places. One of the biggest ones that he planted was in Northrend, and Northrend is where Wrath of the Lich King takes place. The Frozen Throne is there. Big lore. And the tree just began to grow, and it was a beautiful tree for the longest time ever. But the thing is, like, because it wasn't really sanctioned or protected by the aspects, it wasn't given their blessing, it was subject to corruption, and that's exactly what happened. And I think after that, like, Fendril lost a lot of credit. Like, he's a smart guy, he knows his thing, he's one of like Malfurion's best students, but he
was also like jealous of him, right? And
Yeah.
I know at one point he like banishes Malfurion to the Shadow Realm. Like, was that before he planted the trees or like after?
Well, that was after, and that has to do a lot with the fact that Xavius, when he was implementing his nightmare into like the Emerald Dream and into the Night Elf community, he did it through Fendril because he knew Fendril. And this is my.
I believe Fendril lost a son, right?
I don't know anything about that. Like, I don't know his whole story, but as far as when it comes to Malfurion and Fendril, my opinion was like Fendril always felt that he had something to gain over Malfurion, and Xavius used that against him.
He also, I think, well, I read this in the chapter that I was reading, that he did have a son. I think his name was Falston Stagehelm.
What? Stagehelm.
Staghelm.
Stagehelm.
And I think he passed away. I don't know exactly how, but Xavius was kind of, like holding the carrot out. Like, at one point he used some sort of vision or aspect to take form of his son and kind of convince him that he is alive. Like, he like convinced him like hey, do this for me, and if we do rebuild this back, or we get the trees back, like, I can come back, kind of. So I think that was a big, I mean, the love for a son, I'm guessing it's a big motivation to do all these things that you probably shouldn't be doing.
I mean, that makes a lot more sense because that makes me dislike him a little less, but I'm still not the biggest fan of him.
He's still banished freaking Malfurion.
Yeah.
I think the Emerald Dream, but Malfurion was like, well, I mean, I was born in darkness, and he basically just started working because he was basically home.
I see that,
from my understanding.
And that's the cool thing about Malfurion is that, like, when he was taught how to like use his druidic powers, he excelled at it, and that's why he is like the #1 druid of all the Night Elf people, because like he was so quick to learn all that stuff, and he had a connection to nature that others didn't. And I mean, like, Cenarius is trying to teach Malfurion and Illidan at the same time, but Illidan's like, nah, I'm good. I'm just here to impress Tyrande. But Tyranda's like, you don't impress me, fool. Like, Malfurion, he's impressive.
Malfurion hits the weights, though.
That's my boo right there. And like, that was like the biggest thing. So it's like, Malfurion is one of my favorite characters because he's just
that
very
fool could bench
smart.
a world tree.
Yeah, basically. Probably could bench 2. and the thing is, like, it's just cool. Like, it's a good power couple, and that's one of the big reasons why I like them. But yeah, so like, Fendril is there's a big reason. There's a good reason why Fendril, in my opinion, could be or should be jealous of Malfurion, because he does a lot. But Fendril, he has the Night Elf people in his heart and his deeds. Like, he's looking out for them. But the thing is, like, he goes about it all wrong. And that's when the tree that he planted in Northrend, Androsil, starts getting corrupted. And it starts getting corrupted by one of the old gods that kind of sits deep inside Azeroth's core and started to kind of convert and corrupt the tree. At that point, Malfurion is actually returns from the Shadow Realm, and he's like, "What the hell is this?"
Why is it an Emerald Dream, not the Shadow Realm?
Well, yeah, he turns from where he was stuck.
Yeah, I just said a Shadow Realm because, you know, I like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yugi boy.
Yu-Gi boy.
But yeah, when he comes back, he's just like, he sees the tree and he's like, "Why? What is this? Like, what's going on here? Why is it here?" He's like,
"What is this?"
But then the thing is, like, it starts corrupting the land itself. Like, a lot of the furbolgs out there start becoming overly aggressive. And this is kind of like, this is really cool because, like, when you go to Northern, you see like huge, massive logs spread out, and one of the biggest logs is in Grizzly Hills, and you can just see like furbolgs are just like taking up living inside there. And even in Legion, we have to go back to that area to kind of reanimate the claws of I forget his name. Claws of Ursoc, and that's kind of a cool thing. So like all the lore ties to itself, but yeah, Malfurion was like, "We got to take this down. Like, sorry, dude. Like, it's gonna hurt you, but that's fine." So like they tore down the tree Androssil, and they renamed it Vordrassil, which is like corrupted tree, or like warning of like what could happen. And that's why they're not quick to plant trees like that. Like, it's a thing they can do, but it's so risky.
Interesting.
And so that's how we kind of move forward and kind of get into Teldrassil. And Teldrassil, as you know, is the starting zone for all Night Elves.
The crown of the earth, aka.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite zones, honestly.
Yeah, I think the city of Darnassus is where you start off with this, which is just that tree is so massive, it has like cities inside.
Yeah, it's great. R.I.P. Spoiler.
I'm guessing it's, I know they have limitations, right? Like when they do create these games, but
Yeah.
I'm guessing like the city was probably like bigger than what it is in the game.
Sure.
Because in the game it was just like a tree within a tree, kind of.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing, like, you know, it's probably, if we get into the lore of Darnassus, I'm guessing it's probably like a massive city.
Yeah, it's like a massive, booming city with like a full functioning economy. Like, this is like their capital. So yeah, of course, like it's in game, it's, you know, it's big, but like in lore, it's probably much bigger.
Yeah, it's one of those things we kind of have to just imagine ourselves, because there was limitations in games. You know, you can't go everywhere. But
I mean, the other thing is, like, the Night Elf people once had a massive empire, and it was really big. It was all over Kalimdor, and I think a part of me feels like maybe there is a reason for it to be small, because they've
they're
learned.
just tired of doing it again.
Well, not necessarily tired, but I think it's more so like it's a learning lesson to not get too big, to stay a decent size that's good enough for the people and good enough for you to build your influence, but not so much to, like, you don't need to have a booming empire. Like, you don't
became minimalists.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing, and going back to the whole Night Elf thing, where it's like, oh, they're cowards, all they do is kind of hide in their trees. It's kind of true. They did kind of hide in their trees a lot during Warcraft, and they take a lot of flack for it, but it was certain events like Warsong Gulch that took them out and forced their hands to join combat. And, like, that's one of the cool things about the Night Elf people, is like, they care a lot about their home, like the world. Like, the world is their home, like all of it. And I don't think they need to have a massive empire to show you that that's their home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And honestly, that's one of the big reasons why I'm probably a night elf for life. And wow.
Yeah, every time I see you play, and you're either a night elf or like a blood elf, I think.
I have a blood elf, but it's usually night elf or Draenei.
I hope one day we get into the whole blood elf night elf thing. I think that's very interesting too.
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny because like since we're getting into like Warcraft 3 and we're moving into World of Warcraft, it's already happened.
Oh, nice.
We're just not talking about it yet.
I mean, we could talk about the founding of Durotar. I mean, that was interesting.
Yeah.
I was reading about that.
Yeah, and so like whereas the night elves are like the alliance race to cover, Durotar is the horde. You know, like that's like where that's their kingdom, forged out of like necessity, really.
Yeah, they had nowhere else to go, kind of.
Pretty much.
From my understanding, it's an East Kalendor. I think Durotar was named after Durotan, which was Thrall's father. Now, does this? I saw the movie, right?
Yeah.
Is this kind of that?
No.
All right, all right.
No. But Durotar is named after Durotan, which is the main character in that movie.
Durotar, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the movie was about Thrall's father.
The movie is about the movie is kind of a combination of a lot of things, but it's mostly about the first horde going beyond the dark portal. Like,
Coming to Azeroth.
yeah, like this is Warcraft orcs versus humans, basically.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
And yeah, so like Durotar or Durotan is the main character for the horde, whereas like King Varian Wrynn or King Anduin are the main characters on the alliance. So it's like it's a weird combination. Like if we want to talk about like where the movie went wrong,
We can leave that for another time.
yeah, we can leave that for another day because there's a lot of like mad discrepancies going on in that film. I'm just like, no.
Well, one of the questions I had for you regarding like Durotar is, I think it's like a desert, right? Like the whole area.
Yeah, it takes place in the Barrens of where it's at.
From my understanding, Thrall was like, you know what? It's gonna suck, but this is our punishment for what we did in the past. And I was interested in like, what did they do?
Well, that's things like Thrall takes a lot of he puts it like early on, like early Thrall, because right now, as we kind of get into it, I don't know how much you know about Thrall, but early Thrall took a lot of weight, put a lot of weight on his shoulders. Like he felt like he had to make amends for a lot of things that the Horde kind of did during Warcraft 1 and
That's
2.
what he's talking about then.
Yeah, because like by taking the blood of Manoroth, like in the movie, Gul'dan is like turning them into like fel orcs by like magic, right? Whereas in the game, it was actually an offer given by one of these pit lords, which is one of these demons, these beasts, massive in size, that had all the orcs basically drink his blood, and then they became fel orcs. So there's a big difference there. And the thing is, like, these orcs did it willingly. Like, it wasn't like pull my arm. Yeah.
Tricked or anything.
No, they weren't tricked. They did it willingly because they knew if they did this, then they could be the conquering horde orcs that they were always meant to be. And that's why Thrall probably feels like this is our punishment now. Like, we're in a land that doesn't want us. We are in a land that's hard to survive in, and if we can survive here, then maybe we can actually start to build something. And sure enough, he was able to build Durotar.
And then they have the capital, which is Orgrimmar.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, it's a bit like it's a massive city as well. Like it's just a big.
It's like the
Kinda
it's like the
where it
castle.
is.
Like think of it like
Yeah.
a castle, like a castle complex, basically. Like Orgrimmar is like the big city, but one big giant castle complex where the capital sits. So Duatar is the land, and Orgrimmar is the city. And the cool thing about like Thrall is very much a man of honor and respects the old ways. Because like even like the name Ogrim or Ogrimmar is named after Ogrim Doomhammer, the former war chief of the Horde, and so he's very respectable Thrall, and that's why he's a big character for a lot of people.
It brings like traditions, kind of. With
Yeah, he brings in traditions, but he's not afraid of he's not afraid of
his past.
his past, and he's not afraid of moving forward and being progressive about it. And that's the thing, is like, and we'll get into this in lore books, but there's this big stigma against orcs, that they're still the same way they used to be, like that they're just blood crazy and blood hungry, and they just want to kill everybody. That's not true. That's not true anymore.
Yeah, Thrall is kind of the exception to that. Like him and his people. I think at one point, I don't know if I want to talk about it yet, but like at one point, he even forms an alliance with like Jaina, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like,
Just pretty
I mean,
interesting.
and that happens in Warcraft 3 when they have to like push back Archimonde. Like, going back to what we talked about earlier, like the Alliance and the Horde had to team up together, and they did so with Thrall's influence. And even after, like, Thrall still has a lot of influence in helping the human crisis or human problems. He's
There's still that stigma of orcs. So,
yeah,
there's
and
still people
and
that are like
it's a
kill
human
on
thing.
sight.
Yeah, it's a human thing, and that's the thing. It's like,
I mean, we are flawed too. Well, not us, but the hewer. How do you call them?
here
Are they just humans?
humans.
I'm thinking of Final Fantasy. Yeah, they're just humans, right? And they're not perfect themselves. The
No.
Alliance is not perfect.
No,
so-
not at all. And that's the thing, is like, Thrall's willing to accept his flaws and everything, whereas the humans are kind of like still thinking to themselves that they're perfect in
High
a
and
lot of
mighty.
ways. Yeah, and that's why a lot of people don't like Alliance, because they're so stand on ceremony. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I don't like the Alliance. But I'm a big Night Owl fan, so you do what you got to do.
Sell out.
I know. But so like those are kind of the topics that we're looking forward to really getting into detail in lore books. And I think we're kind of really starting to come to our own as far as like how we want to present it to you guys. And we're really excited, but lore books is still need some time. And but until then, we'll keep talking about some lore, and we'll keep talking about things that are interesting to us. So
For sure, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to this. I'm learning a lot myself, so it's really awesome. Stay tuned for the lore books. I mean, we'll have similar discussions to these.
so with that, we can totally move into our DigiChat segment where we get down
Trademark.
Trade TM, just
Getting sued.
symbol. What's that? Digimon come after us.
Yeah.
They're gonna do it.
Bandai Namco.
Bandai, are they still around?
Bandai Namco?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. They just had like a big influence at Tokyo Game Show.
I guess that's true. I don't know why I was thinking like Toys R Us is in business. Are they still making
Toys R
toys?
Us.
I was like, are they still making toys? I have no idea.
Nah, they were smart. They kind of shifted towards video game, and that's kind of where they're at now.
That's right. I forgot about that. But with that in mind, what you playing?
I've been playing some Destiny, trying to catch. I did reach level cap as far as the base game goes, which is 30. So now I'm just kind of going around trying to finish all of the quests that are on there.
That's a game I didn't expect to play at Critgamer, but I ended up playing a lot of Destiny.
Yeah, I think you got into. You were doing the Crucible for a little while, right?
Yeah, I was getting back into my old mode as well, which is great. Still,
Yeah, we didn't even talk about what we played at Critgamer.
still got it.
What did you play at Critgamer besides Destiny?
That was it. Like, I tried to play a little bit of WoW, but there was early when we got there, like the lights were on, and I've got one of these like glass screens on my monitors, so I couldn't see anything. It was this nasty reflection. I was like, ugh.
I think I remember you finding like a new setting on your monitor, and you were so excited about it.
Yeah, it's like dynamic lighting, so it adjusts to the in-game.
And how long
light.
have you had it for?
Like 6 years.
Jeez.
Shut up. But yeah, like I didn't play anything else. Honestly, like I honestly just played Destiny. I
played Destiny, and then I installed. Well, I logged in. Finally, created a character for World of Warcraft Classic,
Yeah, you need to get into that more.
which is totally done because that character I'm not even going to log into it anymore because I had created a different one because he told me to go to a different server. So I was like, well, that guy's done.
Yeah, sorry about that, but it's not my fault because
Well, I mean, at least I didn't spend like a good amount of time on it. Otherwise, I would have been like, I'm staying here.
I mean you could be like me. Like I got to level 19 on my main server, which is Mankirk, and then some people from work were like, "Yo, we're gonna get in white main." I was like, I don't want to start all over again, but I'm already level, but I'm at level 12 already, so I'm almost there, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I'll start over. So, I've been basically doing the same thing for almost a month now.
What, World of Warcraft?
No, like the same character, like the same zones and same quests. I've been doing them for like 3 weeks
sad.
now. That's okay.
That's fine.
I'm not mad. I'm enjoying myself. But that's another thing that we have to figure out. Like, we have to go into a LAN next time whenever we do it, playing the same game.
We're playing, yeah.
Yes.
Like at one point, I downloaded or I took a save file from Matt's computer to play Sniper Elite, which I already uninstalled because I don't have space on my computer. But yeah, I played Sniper Elite 4. Me and Matt, like, we put it on the second to hardest difficulty, where like gunshots are like real and all this, and it cheesed us off because we can get taken down with like 2 or 3 hits, but we take a sniper rifle to an enemy and it takes 3 shots to kill him. We're like, this is stupid.
So,
Like they're hitting us with a pistol and we take 2 or 3 shots and we're down, but we shoot them with a sniper rifle 2 or 3 times and they're still kicking. I'm like, oh.
sounds like you suck.
No, it's we're thinking of going to the hardest difficulty just to see if it's more like who shoots first kind of wins kind of thing, you know, like in real combat would probably take a feel like kind of. We'll see. We also, I know I'm playing with all of my HUD off. Like I have no map, I have no icons of where enemies are coming from, so I rely a lot on sound. And they do a good job on like telling me where these guys are coming from, because I'll be playing, I'll be hunkered down like sniping in my scope, and then like behind me I'll hear some guys like, well, like, oh man, they're coming.
So David saw you playing that way, and he kind of nudged me over. He goes, hey Johnny, look at this bitch over here. I was like, what's he doing? He's like, look at this bitch over here playing with no HUD. His immersion.
Jealous.
And then there was at one point you showed me like this kill shot, and you looked at me, you were like, check this out. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I was like, but that wasn't you. And you're like, no. I told David, I was like, David, he tried to pass off one of Matt's shots as his own. And I was like, you lying son of a bitch. He's like, god damn.
Yeah, I did play Sniper Elite 4, which is a really cool game. I like it. Yeah, me and Matt started playing Sniper Elite, I think in Sniper Elite 2. Just randomly. I think we both picked it up on sale, or we both had it for some reason. And then we played 3, and then when 4 came out, we were like super excited. Like we were keeping up with like the development and all that. And I think that the last year that me and him were at QuakeCon, that's basically all me and he played.
See, I'm looking like I like the idea of like playing these games, like how we played them, but I was just thinking about like if we land again, like what are we playing? Like what are we gonna do? And Matt was saying that he had ESO, which was I thought was pretty dope, but he didn't have it installed and it wasn't updated. And I was like, damn, that sucks. And I don't know, like Travis is getting back into Destiny, I think, when it comes to Steam. If Adam plays Destiny, and then now Joe has a computer and he can play Destiny, like we could start doing like raids and stuff like that. Like getting really, not raids, but and not just Destiny. I guess I'm trying to say is like we could actually get like some hardcore PC gaming going on here.
Yeah, I mean it'd be awesome, honestly.
It would be like I've never played Siege before.
That way I can scream at all of you. Ah, what are you doing? I just don't feel comfortable screaming at strangers. But you guys...
That's exactly who you're supposed to scream at. Okay, new segment. Do you scream when you play online games? I do.
I don't. I barely talk.
See, some people will say like you're the problem then.
No, because I'll call off what I need to call off.
Interesting. See, I don't like to talk either, honestly. But
like when I was playing like multiplayer or like Dota 2, you know, all I would say is what I needed to say. Like,
yeah,
hey, there's someone in the jungle, or there's people going down to the bottom towers.
Got a jungler.
I got my ultimate up or stuff like that.
I used to ping the hell out of stuff in those games.
Yeah.
Like,
but then the people were talking about like, dude, why did you do that? Why did you go this way? Why are you in here? Why are you doing this?
Why did you take that item and not this item? Are you not trying to like? Why are you not taking health steal? Like, what's going on with you? And I'm just like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Like, there's people like that. Like, I don't do that. Or also, like, if I mess up, I don't scream at someone. Like, hey, you should be over here. What are you doing?
When I first started playing Heroes of the Storm, the very first day that I installed that game,
you got called a noob and told to uninstall?
No, like I installed the game, started playing it, and it took me some time to adjust to it because I had played League for a minute, which was the worst decision I've ever made in my life. And then I played Heroes of the Storm. After the game was over, some guy who clearly was bad at English told all of us to cut our hands off.
Nice.
I was
that
like,
was the first experience.
Yeah, that was my first experience with it, and I was like, wow, what a dick. But I don't. But that's the thing. Is like toxicity exists in games, in all games, and it's going to be a thing, and it's just a matter of how you deal with it. And
I'm more of a chill. Like if I'm in here, I mean, you've played games with me before.
Yeah, and you've played games with me. So like when I play Overwatch, like I'm like, okay, go here, do this.
And what do I do? Don't tell me what to do. What do I say?
I don't know. I'm not listening.
That's usually my go-to. I usually say, "Don't tell me what to do," but I do it anyway.
And that's the thing is like, I don't want to be one of those people that's like, "What are you doing, you fucking loser?" But I mean, like, if I have an idea or if I have something, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, maybe you should do this and do this. Let's try this move instead of this move." Like, but I'm gonna be like calm about it. That's one of the reasons why I don't talk playing Overwatch, because people are rarely calm about anything.
Yep. And that's a lot of multiplayer games, and that's why it excites me that I'm getting to know more people that are playing PC, or that we can get together in game, because it's just more comfortable when you know.
It's true. And I look forward to like hopefully being able to play like good games with people so that we can actually do stuff. Like that'd be cool. I know we're not probably gonna play MMOs because that's kind of like a you and me thing. It's an acquired taste. So, on the topic of like World of Warcraft or Classic, you know me. Like, I'm a pretty big fan of like collector's editions. Like, I'll buy that stuff. Like, I'm into that. I have the Stormblood collector's edition, the statue. I've got the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind collector's edition. I've got Battle for Azeroth Legion collector's edition. I've got one of my favorite ones, which is Horizon Zero Dawn collector's edition. Oh, it's so beautiful. I just found out like last week that Classic is coming out with the collector's edition with a statue of like Ragnaros, and he's all gold, and it comes with like 2 mounts, and it comes with like art prints, and it has all this beautiful stuff in it. Do you know how much it is?
Hold on, I'm trying to see this.
It's only $100.
Isn't it's not the World of Warcraft 15th anniversary?
Yes,
collector.
that's it.
Yeah, that's sold out, bro. I don't know what you're trying.
No. The pre-order is sold out, and it's sold out within hours and or days of its release back in May. It comes out next month, but I was reading on it. Some of the devs didn't even get a chance to pre-order it. So they're considering bringing out another wave of pre-orders, or they're considering giving some stores back stock and back order. So websites like Newegg, Amazon, stores like Walmart, and I believe Target are going to be given a very limited supply of like shelf sell. And I was looking at even GameStop was carrying them, but they didn't. Their pre-orders dead. So I was like, I don't want to support GameStop anymore. But
I do like the mount that they.
Yeah, those mounts are cool, but the thing is, like, it's only $100. And I'm like, oh, dude, I gotta get this. Man, I saw people on eBay the other day selling them for like 150, 170, and one dude had at least 10 to sell. I'm like, how the hell are they pre-ordering so many? Like,
Yeah.
like
Well, they have different accounts.
like that's crap, dude. Like, that's so stupid. And then that pissed me off because like they're just upselling it. And the thing is, like, I was like, oh, it's only $150. I was like, yeah, that's a good deal. I'll buy that. But then I saw that it was only $100. I was like, these bitches. I was like, man, like, I really want that. Like, honestly, I'm gonna try my hardest to get that. So October 1st or October. Oh shoot, when is it?
We're gonna be a quick BlizzCon, ain't it?
See, that's the other thing I thought about.
It says scheduled to deliver before the end of October. So one of the things I was thinking is like, will they have this at BlizzCon?
That's what I'm thinking too. And if they are, I would wait and I'd buy it there.
But they haven't said a word.
No. But they do have.
Basically, you're gonna try and get it as soon as possible. But if you don't,
Sure.
that could be like your last.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think my range of purchasing it is $150. I would.
Oh, mine's $100.
I mean, I
ain't paying
I
more than
might
what it
push
asking
it to
price.
170, but the thing is, like, 170 is too much. Like 150, I can live with that, but 170, nah, man, you're really pinching people for that. Like, that's crap. Like, don't buy 10. Like, I hope you sell none, and then I can buy one. But I don't know. Like,
But it's not even the game. It's just a statue.
no, it's like the code for the game. It comes with like the game time, and it comes with like a subscription, subscription time. The codes for the mounts, art prints, the statue, and I think it comes with a pin. I don't care about the pin, but you know,
Comes with a mouse pad.
mouse pad. But yeah, I saw that, and I was like, man, that's pretty cool. And then while I was on there, it looks like Blizzard is having their clearance sale. They've got some good stuff on sale, yo. Like
They're having it going right now.
like a lot of stuff, like sweatshirts, t-shirts, shorts, hats, just like random junk. Socks, because apparently I'm into socks now. So like they had some cool things on there, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty good. But oh, and books. They're having a book sale this week. So if you want to buy some books, they're pretty cheap.
That's pretty cool.
There's some pretty cool things on there, and one of the big things on there that they're having is they're selling one of the original servers for the legacy servers for charity. Did you see that?
I'm seeing it now. Yeah.
Did you see that thing? That's so awesome. Yo, that's so awesome. So like it's cool because like it's this is what it says. It's been a truly epic 15 years of World of Warcraft, and what better way to commemorate this monumentous event than to purchase a piece of WoW history, all while benefiting a great cause. And the cause is a charity known as Pencils of Promise. It's kind of like a charity that helps. It's about global education and organizations, and just kind of creating after-school programs for children and stuff like that. So that's really cool. Like, it's a good cause, and it's a really cool thing. Like, if I had space and disposable income,
You'd have a piece of server just sitting there.
A piece of server.
Oh, man.
Oh, that'd be so awesome. Like, that'd be great.
That is, I don't know. Didn't they do this before, and that's how they had to go back and be like, hey, if one of y'all purchased this, can we borrow it to get our stuff back?
I don't know about that, but that sounds funny, and I would definitely let them borrow it too.
Because I think when we were there that one year, they were talking about Classic. They said like we had it was the year after. I was watching it on TV or on because I signed up for the digital pass, which I will not ever do again because it was garbage.
Yeah, the virtual ticket isn't as good as it used to be.
It was straight up garbage. I'm never paying for that again.
It's not as good as it used to be. Because for now you can pretty much watch everything on YouTube.
Yeah, not only that, like you didn't get anything. Like I think I got I got to play the Classic for like a little while, but it was only for like a level or two or something. It was just
yeah,
totally not worth it.
It wasn't the best, but that's okay. That's okay.
It's not okay.
It's okay. But no,
it's not.
But honestly, like in my head, I have like this image of what I want for like a home, and I want it to be like a monument hall of like all the collector's editions.
Like your hallway.
Yeah. Also in my dream, I'm apparently a millionaire. So.
Nice.
But that's probably not gonna happen.
You just whenever you go for with a realtor, be like, I need a nice hall.
I need a monument hallway.
Like I need it.
I need to be able to put like pedestals with like their own lights and glass boxes. That's what I'm looking for.
So you can finally, instead of I think some of this stuff you just have stored away, don't you?
Yeah, a lot of it.
Oh my god, it's so sad.
Yeah, I know. But with that, let's wrap this episode up. So, any lasting remarks there, Fredo?
Yeah, I mean, just catch us on Twitter at me. I'm at DigiTavern. No, wait. Oh, yeah, I'm at the DigiTavern. Yeah, just find us at social media. I'm at Databots with the Z. You're at J114, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, have a good time. Thanks for listening to us again. Hopefully you tune in for our lore books whenever that comes out. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, Lore Books is coming out pretty soon. And make sure to tune in for episode 5, where we talk immersion and lore.
Immersion.
Also, go look at the website. Make Fredo do more work to it. Make him do more work. Go look at it. We'll see you guys next time. Here on... This is where you say it. Tune in next time.
All right, and I'm stopping?
On the DigiTavern. Tune in next time on the DigiTavern. Peace.
And this is where I go into my ham boning.
Yeah, no. I'm going to keep that. Bye.